Good evening, everyone. The views and perspectives of the public towards street art indeed has taken various forms. Some say that street art is something than just doing work with spraying and it is temporary, while some say that it is the expression of an artist. Some say that street arts really have to be exhibited in the gallery rather than the streets to bring out a much more positive attitude, while some say that street arts really belong to the streets. Some say that street art is a form of crime because it has something to do with vandalism of destroying the public places, while some say it is different, vibrant, colorful. So in every aspect that comes with street art, we have a promoting and contradicting feature. To talk about the history of street art, it first arrived in the city of Melbourne in 1980s from the vibrant city of New York. It initially started with political slogans, railway scrolls, and silent protests that gradually changed out to take a much more artistic form. At the end of 1980, street art was at its peak in Melbourne with the involvement of international artists. By the 21st century, the people started to realize the artistic values that lie within the street arts, and the local councils now tend to have a much more accepting nature towards street art. If a question was arised whether street art is just merely a form of art or whether it comes with a message, the answer that I would give is that really it comes with a hidden message. This is because, like any other art forms, street art also comes with a message that wants to be expressed by the artists, and that is the main reason why it is displayed in the public, which is the streets, so that the conventional society can take a much closer look of what the artist is actually trying to say. Actually, by just looking at that for a second, we don't have the right to justify that whether it is just a mere form of art. Actually, street arts provide us a wider room to think and visualize of what the artist is trying to say and what the message is trying to give to the public. In my opinion, the aspect that might have inspired the artist to come up with street art is that the rights of the person towards freedom, which is the freedom of utilizing the available chances to prove out his own talents. And I also think that his own creativity and innovation inspired him to make use of the not so much suggested places of daily life, which are the streets, to give out his own ideas to the common society out there. I think that street art should be considered and recognized as a form of art, not only by its terms. And I do think that street art do give out much more positive impacts rather than negative impacts. For example, when street arts are executed in the mainstream locations of a nation, it becomes a center of attraction for the tourists, either from foreign countries and of course to the local residents. To say a fact, this street art has indeed developed to many of the countries now. So when this happens, that is when street art is expressed in the mainstream locations, it expresses the identity of a nation's culture, the diversity of the culture along various parts of the country and the history of the nation too. So the younger generation now, they actually take the street art as a medium to know much more about their nation in terms of its culture and history in a way that is much loved and preferred by them, which is the street art, rather than just reading it through books, which seems to be much more boring for them. At the same time, when events such as street art festivals are being held, it actually brings a group of people or a community of people together if they have the oneness in appreciating the artistic elements of street arts, which is also the main goal of the nation now, that is trying to unite the people of multiracial together through various slogans. So together they now have a common interest that tries at its level best to bring them closer. Finally, in terms of the positive impacts, it also incorporates or instills a new form of artistic interest with just a mere glimpse. It encourages the many youngsters to express their hidden talents to the public where when they do not know a way to show what they have as potential inside to the whole wide world. So I say that street art is indeed a chance to be grabbed to prove our talent if we realize that we really possess one. Although there are many positive impacts from street arts, we should realize that negatives have its own part to play too, because whenever there's a brighter side, there is a darker side too. So I say there is a high chance for this form of street art to be misused in a term by vandalism, where these street arts have a high chance to be uh, to be expressed in places that they should not be, such as government offices, schools, and buildings, where which are not specialized for this form of art. So thereby I conclude that even though we have some negative impacts from street arts, the positive, they deal with it. So I think street arts should be recognized and it should be developed to a much more advanced level in our country. Thank you.